So I was on a panel discussion at Exeter University recently, and it was all for an entrepreneurship society. And a young guy, one of the students stood up and said, he said something like, I'm 21, and I think I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know really what to do next. What advice do you have? And I told him, number one, spend the next 5 years becoming the best in the world at one thing, like whatever that is for you. Go and become develop this, invest in the skill, become the best that you can possibly be at that one thing. Because if you can do that, then that's going to pay your way then for the rest of your life. Because I believe you can become top 1% at most things in the space of 5 years if you really devote yourself to actually learning and studying that thing. And then, like we've talked about before, then if you figure out how best to apply that, whether that's doing something on the internet or something in the real world, whatever it is, you can turn that into at least a side hustle of some kind, like your Mercedes guy. At best, a business that you can then grow into anything. But becoming the best at one thing, or becoming as good as you can possibly be at one thing, is a cheat code. It just gets you so far. The second piece of advice I gave him was to go and work for an entrepreneur, because when you actually work for an entrepreneur, you get to have direct contact with the person who's kind of making those daily decisions, and in contact with the reality of running a business. And there's a mindset and behavioral thing that you can learn from that person, which is you just have to have it. But it's the people with the knowledge, with the skills, with the abilities, who can then harness that and aim it in the right direction, that can really have the power to create anything.
Yeah, I mean, jazz musician, loads of languages, and then a business. You certainly have done that 5-year thing, like you kind of represent it. I've started my YouTube channel 4 years ago.
There you go.
And I'd never picked up a camera, and I had looking back now, I was just so determined to improve at every element of it. And I would just attack a single thing. I'd be like, oh, the lighting's crap, so let's just get better at that. Yep. And the mic, or the how to present. And now it's getting to a level where it's like Hollywood script writers. It's like, if I'd have started with that, it was not the right level. Yeah. It was just like, how do I improve the audio, and incremental tiny improvements over time, 1% every video.
And I think what that also speaks to, especially in the world of online business, is the fact that, I remember when I first got started, I listened to someone on a podcast say, okay, if you want to start a blog, then if you work at it for 5 years, it can become your full-time income. So start something today, work at it consistently for 5 years. In 5 years' time, it can become a real going concern. But it does take that time, and it takes this consistent effort that you're talking about, getting 1% better every single time, and to the point where, like you say, you become so good at it that it just sets you apart from everyone else.
No one wants to try and compete. I mean, look how much better you've got at doing this.
Try 1% or so.
More relaxed. And actually, if we boil it down, you've only probably done this for 16 days. You know what I mean? Sat in the seat. Obviously, there's a lot around it in terms of research and prep. And thinking about it has improved.
And you get more comfortable as you learn more, and you
just more relaxed. You get used to the cameras. You get used to them being there, as in you forget that they're there is the way.
Yeah, really, but I was thinking, I was a bit nervous coming here today because I watched the podcast, right? So I'm familiar with it, and so there's a certain expectation of coming to do something like this, and to want to know that you're not going to completely bomb, and so I wasn't. So I felt the kind of butterflies that I think actually is a good sign of performance. It's what nerves are something that actually can elevate the best performance. Like if you have no nerves, actually you're limiting your ability for spontaneous stuff, right? But then we sit down, lights are on, cameras on, and I just observing myself. I'm sort of straight into right. I'm on now, so I'm flicking a switch. But that's the result of 12 years of doing these things.
You've got a lot of history in YouTube. So I mean, every time I used to finish every episode, sweating, shirt was dripping. Deborah Meaden came, I was just wiping myself subtly throughout the whole
we did Deborah Meaden early though. I mean, that was like first season.
Yeah, and I'm how is she sitting in front of me? And I'm just and the light felt just 10 times hotter that day. So I was just casually
we gave her gone off milk. We gave her gone off milk.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
She actually bought her own milk with her because she was like, this happens.
Really?
Yeah,
It was soy milk.
It was oat milk.
Oat milk.
But
oat milk.
yeah, Will, the co-owner of the podcast and one of the producers, he had his oat milk and he didn't realise that, you know, porridge can go off too. So he poured this chunky thing in and was like, there you go, Deborah. And she was like, what is that? You got a lumpy coffee.
Start bringing my own milk. That's a good
But I mean, yeah. No, but you know, the incremental improvement is there, and who knows where this will take you in years to come.
My own Batiste podcast. Be great.
Yeah, but
I've got you on a non-compete, mate. You're not
going anywhere.
I own your ass.
yeah, so that's the thing. Like you like get 1% better, and you become the best. But at a certain point, you start to get complacent and comfortable. Then and then like the next bright young thing starts doing, you know, and then before you know it, you know, that's how empires are toppled.
This is what you're talking about with the butterflies, though. It's like you've got to be in that zone. Right. You've got to be in the kind of the red zone of like uncomfortable. I'm always in that place of. It's like it's almost not nice a lot of the time, you know, to be in a position of like, oh God, here we go, do a bigger thing, do a live with the director of the IFS, you know, or like
Downing Street,
go to Downing Street, and there's a part of me that wants to go, no, I'll just sit in my bedroom and I'll just make a YouTube video, but there's no growth there.
Yeah, I do feel that comfort is a dangerous thing.
Massively.
I mean, one of my favorite quotes is that everything you want in life is just on the other side of your comfort zone. And it's like, it's so true. It is so true. And but the harder thing is actually staying there, you know, because I think that it is, you know, the times when I've got complacent, and I have been through times, and you know, I've been doing this for 12 years now. There are times when I've got complacent and I've sort of taken my foot off the gas and thought it never ends well. So what I always encourage people to do is to think about the core skills and values they've got, and then go out and learn how that skill can provide value in different ways, in different guises, in different markets to different people, and just start learning, go on a learning journey, because generally when you find the thing that gels for you, that thing that's aligned, that thing that makes sense, that energetically is just that lights you up, that is, I think, is likely to succeed, because that passion and alignment is going to push you through the hard times. You know, if you try and do stuff like you know, if you start a YouTube channel because you want the money, I guarantee you it's going to fail.
You won't jump the hurdles.
You just you know, you'll as soon as the going gets tough, you'll quit. So I think it's about understanding the skills you've got, understanding your value, figuring out how best to apply that, and then learning.
That was a clip from our episode with Olly Richards, talking about the power of investing in yourself. You can watch the full episode right here. Damo has a huge man crush on him.
You're just jealous, mate, because I don't like you.